guys, it's me, Big Div, and today we're doing another Raid Shadow Legends video. And specifically, we're doing Bannerlords 21. So I'll go over the run, then I'll go over the champs, and the other champs you can use here to make it a little bit easier, or to replace champs you might not have here. I've tried to go as free-to-play friendly as I can here. As you can see, I've got a rare in here. But yeah, and her use will become pretty obvious when I get started. So we'll get into the run, and then we'll go over the gear. So let's begin. So we start this on manual, just to make sure we get to the boss right, because we want to make sure all of our moves are there, because the boss is an absolute nuisance here. But I'll go over his skills when we get there. So, right, it's taking a while to load. Here we go. Right. Okay, so here, what I like to do here is go after Broadmer, because he is an absolute nuisance. So if I pop, yeah, we've already got attack down, so if I pop that one. So the reason we use Valerie here, because she extends buffs. So what she does is, she takes your strength and it makes it 4 turns. So we'll use the big hit. Yeah, not bad, not bad. So this will take him out. And then now we can just sort of pick off champs. We don't need to use that here. Let's take out Bloodfeather. Yeah, that's the drawback, because Torture Helm hits like a truck. Right. We don't actually need to use any of them yet. We'll take out, yeah, let's give him a heal. We gotta get rid of Torture Hand, because he is by far the most annoying here. Like, the rest don't really do enough damage here. Right. Okay. Give Valerie some heals. Obviously, Stag Knight is relatively important here. I would say him and Ursula are the most important, because obviously Ursula brings the res, and she also brings strengthen, and she also brings attack down, which is going to be massive on the boss, because without attack down, it's a tough fight. A very tough fight without it. Let me just hit Vrask. Should be able to cycle through. And she also has turn meter, which is also going to help us. So this is the fun wave now, because this is the Manitou Wave. So here, I always go after Steel Skull here. The difference is here we've got Sethalia. So the reason we bring Sethalia is for this reason, because if Manitou gets unkillable, Sethalia can strip it away. We pop the shields. Yeah, it can be an absolute nuisance. As you can see, Knight Errant can hit like a truck. Let's cleanse that off. We'll cleanse that off, Ursula. Alright, so that's, as you can see, very naughty. So this is the reason we bring Sethalia in here. We'll extend a couple of buffs, get rid of some buffs. And this is what Sethalia, the reason she's in here. So I don't really... Right, so we take this, and we can strip away all the buffs. Apart from Manitou resisted it. What a surprise. That does happen, but it doesn't really matter here. Yeah, so Steel Skull's gone. So now we'll go after Norog, because Norog puts on block buffs, and obviously we need buffs here in order to stay alive. So, yeah, it's... you could probably auto this with this team, but I prefer to do it like this so you guys have an idea, because this is awkward faction to do. When I did it, I went manual because I didn't have sethalia. Like, sethalia does make this easier. Let's. And also on the boss, sethalia is big because she's going to keep Ursula alive because Ursula has to stay alive. And there's a bit of 2 and 4 with the boss, which I'll get into in a second. Right, come on. Right, come on. Good old Norog. Anyway, he's gone. So Manitou now. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, we're gonna res anyway, so let's get this off. I won't do that yet, not until. No, I don't need that. See if we can get Manitou. HP, but we can't. Right, so everyone else. Yeah, we can use that now. So, right, take out Manitou. Here we are, so it should be quite simple now. So it's just A1s now, basically. Oh, got the HP burn off. That's nice. With the cleanse on Valerie, it doesn't cleanse buffs, but it brings them down by 1 cooldown, which makes it a little bit easier then, so you can cleanse buffs away. Right. We've got the hard part in a second when we get to the boss. This is fairly easy, so yeah. Right, come on. There we are. That's Draco gone. So, whichever one of the lizardsmen this is, which I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, I think we're good now to go. That should be it. Yeah, here we go. So, right, the trick here is to get this down as quick as you can, which is why we cycle back to the 1 moves. Because everyone here hits pretty hard. Now, I could do the turn meter. Yeah, I think I will do the turn meter. It's only a little bit. Let's pop that because this is going to hurt. Let's extend it. Right. So here, I intend to take... You can either try and tank what the ads do or take them out. The problem is he reses them. So you have to find a way of killing them and killing him. But it's about tanking the hits or getting CC on those champs. It's just difficult in this comp because there's not much CC. Like, I could bring in a champ that CCs these so I can just go straight after him, which is how I did it initially, which is what I might actually end up doing. Let me take her out. So we've got a stun on her. There we are. This hits pretty hard, but luckily we've got strengthen up. So I'll go after him specifically. Yeah, let's heal her. Get her back. Let's get this off. Let's put the shields. I didn't see the fear. Luckily got through it. Yeah, so... Yeah, what I would probably do here, because it's basically you use sethalia to keep your team alive, or to keep Ursula alive, because Ursula will take the majority of the beating here, because she does, for some reason she takes, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but yeah, we get right. So if we go here, so you have to sort of mix it up, unless you're rocking like some OP champs like Baron. Let me turn meter down. Unless you're rocking like a Baron, this is very difficult to get damage because most of the damage in this faction comes from the Legos. Like, you could book Knight Errant, which is what I was gonna do, but I ended up doing it without needing to book him. But if you can get attack down on, you can then single target the boss, because then you use Sethalia's to keep Ursula alive, and then till you can cycle back round. So let's res. So we're trying to get HP burn off, and we did, so that's good. That's going to help us. Yeah, there's one now, so we can get rid of one. What that means is now he'll use a move to res her now, which helps us. As you can see, it does a little bit of damage, but you need, there you go, see, so now he'll res. So, yeah, you try and focus on him as much as you can, but obviously you've got to try and tank the hits from these two, which is why attack down is huge. So, yeah, literally all I do with Sethalia here is make sure that her, let me get this off. So now we've got attack down all of them. So they're hitting for less. So it gives us a chance. And then obviously we can do this every so often to bring the turn meter down. So if I pull up the shields, go after the boss. I'll go over the masteries. Only I think Stag Knight has masteries here. I would definitely suggest. Right, so if I use this on her, damn, didn't get it. Damn, that's not good. That's the end of this one. We got lucky there. That was lucky. To heal. Extend. Yeah, we should be alright now. Yeah, we got the stun. That's good. Attack down. So, as you can see, we use, I think I've got Giant Slayer or War Master on Stag Knight for that very reason. So he does the predominantly most of the damage. Him and Knight Errant. Right. But Sethalia can't be replaced here. And I'll show you the chap that I used when I initially did this, which is probably, I think, safer, to be fair. The only trouble is keeping your team alive without Sethalia. Right. Gonna need the res, so we res here, and this should be game. This should be it, I think. Pop the shield. And this should be the last hit. No, not quite. And there we go. Right, so we got 3 stars there. Obviously, very difficult. I'll go over the champs now to give you an idea of what can be what can be replaced and the gear I used. So I'll go over Sethalia. So I use Sethalia in arena, or I sometimes do. So I got an immunity set, which will help here. It'll stop her getting debuffed straight away, so then she can cleanse whoever does get debuffed. I got a little bit of accuracy on her, so her strip lands. It should be higher, but it's good enough for most dungeon content. I've also got Ursula, who I run in a sort of, well, accuracy build because of her attack down. You don't have to run accuracy. You want about 50,000 HP, I would say. So I'll show you her full stat. So 50,000, but I would try and bump up the defense so she takes a better hit. So yeah, it's definitely you want to sort of mid 2,000s, maybe 3,000 if you can. If you get 50 there, 3,000 there, that'd be great. Speed's a bit low because I've moved a lot of her gear around because I don't really use her anymore. Stag Knight, the only one in my comp with Masteries, so I'll go over his total stats. So 36,000 health, 2,000 attack, 237 speed. Reason being, I use him in Fire Knight. Probably, I think, the best support, one of the best support champs in the game. I've gone a bit overkill on the crit. I'm trying to work the speed by getting crit damage, a crit damage gauntlet. The problem is that I need better pieces, but I won't do it. I want to keep it that speed, but get more crit damage out of him. And his accuracy is, I do use him in Doom Tower a little bit, normally on normal, a little bit on early stage hard. So his accuracy is about 330. 350 is what I want, but that's good enough. It's good enough for what I've got. I'll go over his masteries. So I've gone a very typical clan boss sort of build with him. So Keen Strike, and then down the left hand side the War Master. I've gone for the extra chance because of his A1 and his decreased speed, because it isn't 100%, and obviously I want to try to extend the decreased defense. I don't know why I've gone Law of Steel, because I'm pretty sure I've got no basic artifacts on him. I think when I first did him, I went Law of Steel. I like Cycle of Magic, the chance of decreasing a cooldown random skill at the start of every turn. So it will happen. Arcane Celerity, I think, is a must on this guy, because he basically debuffs, and he also hits. So yeah, this is how I would go with it. You can go, I wouldn't suggest going on the defense tree, because it pretty much negates where he's good, because you want to try and get the extends on the attack down and the decreased defense. Knight Errant is in very much a mismatch of gear. I've moved gear off this guy, moved it back on him. He's above 100. He's about 200 crit damage. That's all I really need. He's got enough accuracy to let his stun land. So Death Warrant gives you a weaken, which probably didn't land as much as I would like it to. Mordhau? Yeah. Laser stun. And then has a chance of resetting the cooldowns of each of the champion skills if he kills. So he's definitely an option. Do not sleep on this guy. He has ridiculous numbers. I personally don't use him in Dragon like some people do, because he can hit really hard on the Dragon itself. But then you've got to give him good gear. You have, and I'm not really needing him there. So yeah, so he is without question an option. Right. So I'll go over the champs that you can use. So obviously, virtually any one of the Legos will help you. Baron would be good. Raglan would be S tier. Like, if you've got a Raglan and you've got Ursula, I would probably run both of them to give you that stability of the strengthen and the shortest turn reviving the game. Septimus, yeah, you can use Septimus here if you've got him. But again, if you've got any of these, apart from maybe killing the Lucky, who's very, very random, everyone else you will help. Like, everybody. The options to replace in my comp, so like Sethalia, if you haven't got any Legos, you can replace Sethalia with Seneschal. The reason being is this. The only thing I don't like about this is that it's a one turn. What you can do with this guy, he lays a leech on an A1. So what you do is that you put counterattack on yourself, right? And then provoke for one turn. Now you could, and you can't extend provoke, unfortunately, but I used him as crowd control initially. But like, if you've got this guy, I would without question use him. I would book him though, so that comes around quicker, because one turn is probably not enough. It probably isn't. He also has this, so he places, what you can do with this acts in a similar way to what Sethalia's heal does, but this you put on Ursula to keep her basically from taking hits. But the problem you've got is that the ads have an AoE, so it's kind of pointless, but it will help keep her alive. So Seneschal is a definite option if you've pulled him. If you've got no Legos, you have to go with this guy. I'm absolutely convinced of it. I said this before. You've also got Archmage, a turn meter specialist, and stun specialist. A lot of people put this guy in a stun set, but outstanding champion. And he's also immune to any turn meter effects, which doesn't really happen in the waves, but yeah. But this guy, he's a sort of like budget Lysandra sort of, who can stun. He also has this increased speed. So if you've got Archmage helmet, I without question build him and use him here. Definitely usable. I think he's quite heavy on books, so isn't he? Was he 4? Yeah, fairly heavy on books, which is why I don't use him, because it's way too many bucks. You know, considering that they're a short resource on my account. So Archmage helmet is an option. You've also got other than that, like obviously Valerie. Oh, I didn't show you Valerie's gear, so I'll go for Valerie's gear. She's actually in my vault, so you pull her out of the vault. She's in here somewhere. Where is she? Where is she? There she is. Oh, that, no wonder why she was dying. There's no gear on her. Well, yeah, don't do what I do and put gear on her. Put some gear on her. Yeah, you can go regen, immortal, just make her tanky. I can't believe I actually did that. No wonder why she was dying so easily. Yeah, sorry guys. But yeah, Valerie, kit her out to be tanky. Not like I've just done there. Just did a run with her with basically no gear on her. And still managed somehow to do it. But yeah, Valerie is... If you've got Ursula, or anyone that lays buffs, Valerie is your heals, because this faction is sorely lacking when it comes to healers, I think, because outside of Sethalia and Manitou, there's no, if you've got Chancellor Mina, I think she does heals, I think, sleep. You could use her as a healer if you've got her. If you haven't, Valerie's free to play. You just have to farm her from Cara Castle. That's it. You know, and then if you need books for her, you use her as, but you just keep getting her. She's fairly simple to get. Other rares you could use. You could use Dagger if you don't have Stag Knight, and build her in the same way you would build Stag Knight. Just make her fast, make her tanky. Don't try and get damage out of her, because you need one. I always think one damage dealer is good here. So you've got like the option of Knight Errant. Like I'm lucky to have Stag in the gear that I've got him, because I've given him time and patience to put gear into him. So yeah, you could use Richter off the board if you wanted to for his poisons. You could use the new guy Sigmund, who would probably be fairly good here if you've managed to do the fusion last couple of weeks ago. But like Lord Champfort pretty much can almost solo this. Yeah, he's literally built for this. If you've got him, use him. But again, if you haven't, I would look at Knight Errant, Frank, Stag Knight. You could use Giscard. He is fairly good. But Archmage, if you've got him. Seneschal, if you don't have Sethalia, to give you those heals. You could use Warcaster for his block damage on the boss if you've got Warcaster. And then out of the rares, I would use Valerie. So yeah, I will be uploading more of these over the next couple of days. As they appear, as they open, I'm trying to do them as best I can. Some of them, like I said before, I can do. Some of them I can't. But like I said, it's very difficult to do all of them on auto, because I moved a lot of gear back and forth. So if you need any help, please leave a comment in the comment section. It really does help me out. I stream on Twitch most weekends now. I'll be on this weekend, and I'll probably be on next weekend for the ×2 voids. If you need any help, leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And it really does help me out. So hopefully see you guys soon, and Big Dave out.